Welcome back with another episode of Talk Time with Yazzy. We are on episode 11. The topic is love languages, how we give, receive, and sometimes miss the message. We're going to dive into it by introducing ourselves. You already know it's the one and only Yazzy Yaz. And
La la, use your tongue.
okay, and we got not a regular, but he had to double back and come back. Introduce.
Get it, cousin.
Cousin Khaled coming from Chicago. It's getting cold up here. It's getting real
Oh,
cold up
okay.
here.
Love it, love it. And then we got a special guest, my big bro. Okay, introduce yourself.
What's up? It's Big Bro Shao, still down here in the desert. It's a dry heat.
Okay. They don't need to know too much. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so I do want to before we dive into it, just give a quick little breakdown of the 5 love languages. First is words of affirmations, acts of services, quality time, gift giving, and physical touch. Dang, I'm about to forget physical touch. But with that being said, we have 4 key points that we do want to hit. And my first one is just going to start off with how we give and receive our own personal love language. And we're going to start it off with our cousin.
Cool. Let's see. So my preferred love language is actually quality time. I think that nothing really makes up for quality time. And maybe that's just growing up in a household where I feel there was an overall lack of that, right? And it doesn't mean just being in the same room, because that doesn't count. Oh, we had quality time, but you stared at a screen, right, and watched Netflix. It's not quality time. Like, you have to engage one another. It's the time that your consciousness are melding and ideas are flowing between both of you, and your understanding of one another continues to expand. To me, that's quality time. And then I would say my least favorite is probably going to actually be maybe a tie between words of affirmation and receiving gifts. Growing up, I never really received those. So, receiving them now, I don't know how to respond. So I'm pretty much like, oh, thank you. I don't know what to do. Am I grateful enough? It's just a shock. Physical touch, that can actually feel awkward. It's like, you're invading my space. Get away from me.
Yes. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. I will follow up with that. I would say, my favorite one is I'm gonna say gift giving, but I don't even really get gifts. It's more like small things. Like, I'm more like writing me a letter or like something small and like letting me find it. That is more for me that I'm like, ooh, and I don't know if it's like, because physical touch, I'm like, don't touch me. That's probably the one I struggle with the most. And I have a partner that is very much like, let's cuddle and I'm like, I'm very much like, you be over there. Like, we
Right.
go together, but we don't gotta be together. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? And so, but the older I get, is the more I'm starting to be like, well, why don't you hold my hand? And he's like, well, you don't want me to touch you. So it's very much like, that's one I struggle with, but I do like gift giving and just spending quality time together. I feel like when we cook together and just plan trips, because I feel like people don't realize that's also spending time together, is like planning your future, planning your move, doing those things. It's like envisioning our future together is a whole nother level of love language for me. It like gets me like, hold on, so you want to have kids with me, and you want the house, and you want the 2 chairs in the patio, or all that. You know what I'm saying? So that for me is top notch.
Right.
So
Future building.
exactly. What about you, Shao?
If I'm gonna go into it, I think for me, my 2 big ones are gonna be physical touch and quality time. And I'm gonna say, kind of to, I guess, piggyback off of what cousin said, is just because I felt like I didn't get a lot of that when I was young. And so, like, no, I don't quite know how to respond to it, but I know it's something that I was lacking, and it's something that I wanted. And so for me, those are huge, right? So it's like, Yeah, even if it's just you being present with me in the living room and we're watching our favorite show together, right? We don't even have to be physically touching one another, but you sitting next to me, showing me that, hey, I'm here with you and we're enjoying this show together. That that kind of hits both for me, right? Or like Yaz was saying, right? We're looking into the future. You're envisioning yourself being here with me, and we're talking about, hey, that porch in the patio, looking at our grandkids running in the yard,
Oh,
right? Taking our grandkids and watching them play their soccer games, their football games, right? And it's also like, hey, we're out in the town. I'm not saying we got to have, uh, a makeout session or anything, but hold my hand. Let everybody know that I'm yours and you proud to have me and I'm proud to
Right.
have you. You know what I mean? Like you want to feel that level of appreciation.
That's
Yeah.
true. And before, Law says her part, I just wanted to say it's kind of interesting how we all were like, had our own way of saying physical touch, and some
yeah.
of it was like not really physical touch,
Yeah.
but it was like the thought of physical touch was enough for y'all.
Right.
Does that make sense? I was like,
Yeah.
okay.
It's like being
But
a cat. Cats don't really want you to run up and just start mingling with them. Just like they want their space, and then when they're ready for cuddles, they walk over, and they'll get it, regardless of how you feel.
man, I guess I'm a cat. Anyway,
We know.
go ahead, Lala. Don't forget to use that tongue. No.
Oh, okay, so I think all of my cousins feel like they know what my favorite affirmation, I mean, not affirmation, but love languages. I think everybody think they know, but it's not what everyone thinks. My
Wait, we should guess.
Okay, go ahead, guess.
I feel like for you, La,
If you know me, know me. Okay, go ahead. Let's see.
let me see. The new La, I'm going to say physical touch. That's cool
All
too.
right. Now they've spent more time with you, so I'm kind of like the oddball on this. But based upon your reactions with a certain someone in your life over the last, duration of time,
Here we go.
I'm
I already
saying
know. Go
acts
ahead.
of service is ringing.
Oh,
You know,
that's
is ringing
it.
hello important.
Wow,
That
I
is
totally
it.
forgot
It's
about
acts
that
of
one.
service. Look at you. Oh my, wait a minute.
Wow.
Tambourine.
Not me saying all five and forgetting about
I had
acts
to
of
put my
service.
thinking cap on.
Acts of
Yeah.
service is.
Yeah.
I got the image right up here on the other screen.
You know what?
I'm over here with
It
the cheat
definitely
code.
hits me a lot. It hits me because I feel like my whole life is an act of service if you really know me, right?
Right.
And for
Right.
to find someone that kind of mimics that, or I can see myself in that person and they're selfless, even though they do care about themselves and they take care of themselves. There's things that volunteering, doing other things for kids, going to church, doing things for the church, like things like that is so like, ooh, like boy, you
Yeah, like,
okay. Like
Right.
it gets
Right.
me, right?
It's effort,
so
right?
It
I
is.
take mine back.
So acts of service is really good. And even just little things like I'm coming over and there's a blanket for me. You know what I'm like you know what I mean? Like I done had a long day and you got the bath water running and just things like that, even acts of service towards me. Like and
Right.
you're listening to me, you're picking up cues from me and I do try to do the same, vice versa, so that's the top for me. I think let me see. I think I'm working on, or my least favorite sometimes is words of affirmation. And it's weird, right? Because I like that, but sometimes I'm like, I don't need you to shine me like that. Like, I
Right.
need you
It's
to
like
show
you
me.
like it from yourself.
Right, right. It's like, I
Uh,
don't, you know what I mean? And sometimes it'd be too much now. If I'm really into you, I'm digging that, right?
Right.
But if it's kind of like, I'm like, please stop. Like, I
But
don't need you to shine a light
yeah.
on me. I'm doing this because I'm doing it, right? Like,
It
Right.
starts to feel like fake. Like, it's like,
right,
okay.
But there's a
right,
difference between recognition and flattery.
right.
Mm.
Correct. And so but those lines get blurred.
Right.
And so for me, that's the one that I need to work on taking those words, right? From other
Right.
people. I mean, like, girl, you look good. And if it's from Yazzy, yeah, okay, Yazzy. I also know that Yazzy would be like, you need to go back and try that outfit again because it's not working,
Okay.
right? So I know that's genuine about anything I'm doing, whether, oh, Lala, you ain't say that right. You know, you wasn't nice right there. But then you're like, but I like when you do this, or like today. Even just my cousin telling me that I'm a good mom. Oh my goodness. It made me cry, like, cause you seeing that. And I was like, oh, cousin. Like, cause my little one is on the air on the roll. And I'm like, yeah, it's nice that somebody else saw that. So that words of affirmation, I had to take it in because I was like, I could be a better mom. But I beat up myself that quick. Instead of
Yeah.
saying, oh, I could take that in, right? So
Yeah.
that's my
But
most and not so good at taking
yeah,
in.
a lot of our dispositions are trained in our childhood. It's kind of
Mhm.
like our inner monologues are often just parrots of the monologues that other people have directed towards us. And if you've received more criticisms than you receive compliments, then it's almost like you develop an allergy to compliments, because it's like, what is that? What did you just do?
Right.
I said nice shoes.
I said nice
Yeah,
shoes.
why are you saying it? Like there's a motive. Why?
Yeah,
You
you
trying
got
to steal my
You
shoes?
trying to steal my shoes? Are you trying to be funny? What'd you just say? What are those?
Right.
right.
Right. But with that being said, we can also tackle into our next topic, which is what happens when our love language don't align. So I'm guessing like, with
Mm,
your significant other, I can start this one off because I hit a little bit on it in the previous part.
Okay.
Um, but with my partner, that is something like I am struggling with, was just like that physical touch. I feel like all the areas I struggle with a little bit, but mainly the physical touch because of just being that kid that didn't get hugs or like those type of things. It's like I could have, like you said, like I could have been on the honor roll. I was literally in AP classes doing all that stuff, and it was still like, okay. Instead of it being like, I'm so proud of you, like
right.
you're doing good, like
Positive feedback.
or
Yeah.
right, or even like, okay, come here, let me give you a hug, like, oh, a kiss on the forehead, like how like I'm a babysitter, and so I see like the parents interact with their kids and they're like, oh, come here and like give them a kiss on the forehead, like those type of things, and I'm like, oh, like I did not grow up doing that. And then so when my husband like will kiss me on the forehead, it's like the smallest thing, and I'm like, I feel the love over my whole body. Like I'm like, you didn't even have to kiss my lips or like other
Right.
areas, but I'm like, you kissed the forehead, and I felt tingles in just that. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Mhm.
So I feel like with that, like us struggling, he has done a really good job at like being patient with me and taking those like little steps when it comes to like, okay, at first I was like, we don't need to hold hands. And now it's like, okay, he holds my hand and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm his woman, like as you should. Or like he'll be like, if I'm sleeping on the couch or something, I wake up and there's a blanket and a pillow. I have a pillow on my head and a blanket, and I'm like, oh snap, and at first I used to be like, well, why didn't you wake me up? And then instead of it realizing like, dang, he wanted me to still be at peace, and like he made sure I was still comfortable.
Right.
So like those things are just things that I'm like, it's good to have someone that I guess that doesn't have similar love languages as you, because it allows you to grow.
Right.
And so that's
And
just
sometimes it
my
forces you
feedback.
to.
Grow and learn how to
Yeah.
even use those and develop those muscles, I guess, right? Like
Right.
Exactly. I'm gonna repeat the question.
Right.
It's what happens when our love languages don't align, and you can either say like with significant other, friends, people, or just in general. And I said my answer, so who would ever like to go next?
go ahead.
I think this is a good one I'd like to really touch on. Um, so yeah, so when your love languages don't align, it could be a challenge, right? But it's more about recognizing how you guys can find a common middle ground, right? So it's about hearing what it is that your friend, partner, significant other, what it is that they're seeking from you, and how you guys can meet in the middle. That's how I think about it, right? But you also, it's got to be communicated, right? No one that I know of on this earth is a mind reader, right? And so I don't know
Exactly.
that your love language. I mean, physical touch is a pretty obvious one. If somebody like flinches away from you, like, oh, okay, you don't like to be touched. But
Right.
if your
Right.
love language is acts of service, yelling at me to take out the trash, that's not telling me that, hey, it makes me feel good when you take out the trash and I don't have to think about it.
That's a
Right.
good
And
one.
Mhm.
Mhm.
right, I'm taking
That's
on
a
a
good
negative
one.
connotation to it because I'm like, dang, she always yelling about the trash, always yelling about the trash. Like, all right, I'm gonna take
I
it
need to
out.
write some notes.
Right? But if you
Yeah.
communicate, hey, because if we having a conversation like this, or we at dinner, like, hey, you know what? I just want to let you know, like, I really appreciate it when you take out the trash, and it's one less thing off my plate that I have to worry about. It's wonderful when I walk into the kitchen and there's no trash. The trash is taken out. The shoes
Right.
that are normally left in front of the door, they're picked up. In my mind, I start thinking, okay, she likes it when I take care of the small stuff. She walks in and she doesn't have to worry about tripping over shoes. Granted, anybody likes that, but you know what I mean? You start picking up on those cues. But if it's not communicated, right, how would I know that? It's some of the small stuff. Because in my mind, I'm like, all right, I'll take out the trash. It's not full, but it doesn't, for a lot of other people, it doesn't have to be full. If it's half full or 3/4 full, you're like, I just don't even want to see this trash. Like, like
Right.
throw it out.
That's why I
Right?
put the
You know what I
covers
mean?
on top. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hide the
So,
trash.
but that was just like, an example. The biggest thing is just about communication, right? It doesn't have to be verbalized through, anger or yelling when you've reached your peak. You want to communicate that before you get to that level, right? And it's the same for receiving love, because somebody might be thinking they're showing you all the love in the world, and you're like, that's not how I receive love, right? Like, hey,
Right.
I've been giving you all kinds of gifts. What do you mean you're not happy? I don't care about gifts.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
I want to spend
Right.
quality time with you. I want to sit down
Right.
and enjoy a show. I want to have a meal with you.
Yes.
And I'm sitting here thinking, like, I've been pouring so much love into you. I bought you diamonds. I bought you a watch. I bought you shoes. I bought you this. What do you
Remember
mean
that
you're not
yacht?
happy?
I got you that
Yeah,
yacht.
yeah. You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
I ain't gonna complain about no yacht.
Ain't never been on the yacht, but I bought you the yacht. You know what I'm saying? And you not
Right.
happy? No.
Yeah, but
The yacht is
if I'm
the
on
yacht
the
is
yacht and you
nice.
not, because you can't spend quality time, there's no point.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, I
See?
guess, and I
So
don't, because I didn't mean to cut you off. I didn't know if you were
no,
done
you're
or
good.
not.
That was
But
it. That
I
that,
mean,
that
and
was the point.
that is what you just said was a part of my last relationship, and it was, I only know how to show love by giving you things, right, all the time, like, and I will, and my thing was that not being responsible with my finances just because I want you to have these things because this is how I show love.
Right.
That's one of my things is that I love gold and diamonds and purses, and I love all those things. But those are things, right?
Right.
If I
That you
don't
can
have,
get yourself
yeah,
too.
definitely clock that. but but when I'm wanting that quality time or that understanding or that physical touch and I'm just getting a purse and I'm just getting, you know what I mean? I'm just getting money or I'm just getting these things. That's
Yeah.
not what I want. You know what I mean? If my kids are not getting your quality time, my kids are not getting your affirmations, like that's how you show me love. That
Right.
whole thing. It's not, in my last relationship, ours was, his was just, this is what I know. People like me when I give them things. Right? People want to be around me
Clock
when I give them
that.
things.
Clock
And I'm
that.
like, I need more. I need you. I don't want none of this stuff. I get 4 rings in my last relationship. I don't want the rings. I
Right.
want
Nice
you.
rings.
It's like I'm
Right.
trying to be
Nice
with a
rings.
person, not a department store.
Correct. I
Didn't
want
Beyonce
you.
say, if
My
you like it,
kids
then you should have
need
put a
you.
ring on
My
it?
kids need to see us in a positive light together as a unit. And that was hard. So that was how, that's what I just went through with our love languages not aligning.
Yeah.
And he was more like, I like gifts. Okay, but I'm not going to not pay my rent or my
Right.
mortgage to get you some shoes.
Mm.
And that's how that person was. Well, I won't pay my rent to buy you a diamond. Well, we can't sleep in a diamond, okay?
Okay.
Right.
Like, we can't sleep in them Jordans.
I'm
Sorry.
tired of going to the pawn store. We
Ooh,
need,
don't
we need
even.
balance.
Oh,
No,
Don't
no, I'm not
trigger
saying you,
me.
but I mean,
Don't
you know,
trigger
just in the
me.
thing, right? If you keep getting
no,
stuff,
she said, "Don't trigger me."
so this was a real thing.
Triggered.
I'm just
Yes.
saying, because if
Yes,
you
it
got
was a
stuff and you
real
don't have
thing.
money, then you just going
It
to the
was a
pawn
real
store in
thing.
order
And
to
like I
trade stuff
said,
for money. Yeah.
he's
It
an
was the
amazing
false
person.
flex.
That's not my person. But it was just that keeping up with the Joneses and you about to get evicted is not cute.
Right.
And thinking that giving me this and then telling me that you can't make, like, it's not cute. Like, those don't align. So that was
Right.
like, but a lot of people, that's what people go through. I want you to like me, so I'm going to do these things. Or I'm going to love bomb you until you like me.
Right.
And so
And
that was a
that's a
part of my
shame.
thing. That was real life. You know, we uncut over here. So
Yeah.
that was what happened with me.
You don't love me the way I need.
Need to be loved. No. And it's
Right.
definitely not with things.
But it seems like
But
so much.
don't get it twisted. I like things. But
Yeah. Right.
I need more.
There's a priority. There's a
Right.
listing. Right. A hierarchy amongst them. But it does make you think about, let's say, you know, the type of life a person would go through where they would associate love so strongly with materialism or whatnot. That, like, was that his first girlfriend where she was like, why didn't you buy me anything constantly? And then it trained
Mm.
him. Was it something else that he witnessed that put that in his psyche where he felt like he couldn't give anything but stuff? And I mean, being fiscally irresponsible, that's just fiscally
I feel like it
irresponsible.
was
I don't.
personally, it wasn't a like, it was like people like me when I have nice things.
Right.
People like me more around when I have the nice car. Girls like me more when I have
Oh, so that
the nice outfit.
superficiality.
Yeah, like
So
is
you
Right.
it
gotta
more of
be.
like a status thing?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But then you at home and you eating beans because
Right.
I'm just saying. You know what?
In the gym, firing
I'm
it
done.
up.
I'm gonna
She
shut
like,
up.
Everybody got them
uh-uh.
attitudes.
Nobody
Oh,
makes beans like I make beans, baby.
listen, we not
See.
trying to, you know, oh,
Oh my god!
all
You
I'm saying
have
is
beans
red
and
beans and
caviar.
rice.
Not
Red beans and rice didn't miss her. Okay, sir, she's had enough of the beans.
That's
All
right.
right, she's had enough
In
of the
all the right
beans.
places. Okay.
Oh
Okay.
my goodness.
Oh wow. Okay. And what about you, Colin? What happens when your
Shoot, you're gonna
love
have to hit me
language
with the
just don't?
question again. One more
Okay.
time.
What happens when your love language doesn't align?
Um, you have the biggest opportunity for your development, and they also have the biggest opportunity for their development because, you know, both of you are complex beings, right? You're humans. And because of that, you know, you got your early childhood, you got all kinds of things factored into why you are the way you are, and either just sticking with that or growing past it. So for me, acts of service is something I naturally do, right? If I see that there's a family member or a loved one or a girlfriend, or a person I'm dating in need or whatnot, for me, it's like I'm your road dog, right? We are on this journey in life together. And if you're going through trials and tribulations, I'm your support, right? If you're shooting arrows, I'm making arrows, right? If you need fire, I'm gathering the
Can you
wood.
say that? I don't mean to say
Okay.
it again. Say
Now,
that.
I
one
was
more
about
time
to start.
so
Where the
people
tambourine? Pull out the tambourine.
Okay, I'm sorry. Just
Thank
real quick, since they cutting in, I'm gonna cut in too. Now here, you know, you're right, and I'm sorry to cut y'all everybody off, but you're right. If you, again, like you said, if you shooting arrows, I'm making arrows. If you making fire, I'm cutting the wood, right?
Right.
So you're communicating to you like, hey, I'm here. We're supporting. I'm trying to support you in all of this.
Right.
But they're like, hey, I didn't ask you to cut this firewood. I asked you to hold the target. Right?
Oh.
Yeah,
But
I ain't getting
it's
shot
not-
with no arrows if you meant. Oh, my bad. But go
I'm just
ahead.
saying, but they're not
Going
communicating. But you know what I mean?
forever with
But that's not communicated. So you're showing,
Right.
you're showing that like, hey, I'm doing everything I can to support you and try to be there for you.
Right.
And they're like, no, I could do this by myself. I didn't ask for you to do this part.
Oh, they're like la.
And that's when I put my
Okay.
glasses on
I
like
was about to
this.
say that kind of sound like me, but
I grab
I
my
mean,
paper like
like you
this. I
said.
grab my pen like this. Why do you feel that way?
Oh, we're going therapist
No,
mode.
I will
Absolutely.
psychoanalyze. Absolutely.
therapy session.
But which is fair. But I'm just
Right.
saying, right? So that's just kind of what instantly triggered.
I mean,
That's what
Yeah.
went into my
I
mind.
get
It's
it.
like
I
But
get
you
it.
feel
that
like
can
you're
go
doing
It's a
so many
everything you
misalignment of
ways.
love languages.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
But it wasn't even just a misalignment of the love language itself, but like how that love language itself is done, right? Because I think this is one of the misalignments that I had where, since active service is something I naturally give, I had this one ex or whatnot where I felt like the types of services that she wanted from me were baked into this superficiality, right? Where instead of like the stuff that I will typically do, which is, you know, to support her in her dreams and ambitions and stuff like that. So if she was getting into plants or whatnot, I buy her books. If she was doing this, I would buy her that supplies and help her, you know, come up with her plan and stuff like that. It wasn't just like gifts, but it was like strategically helping her build the future she wanted for herself and acts of service. But
Yes.
some of the things that she requested of me kind of made me cringe because she was vocalizing to me that she wanted to tap into her divine feminine. And in my head, I'm like, what?
What's cringe about that?
Soft girl era. Soft girl
Uh,
era.
yeah, but it's like, to
Oh,
me,
no,
it's like
just let
the
the man
social
cook. Let the
media
man cook.
ideology. And it's like, for me, life is a war. And no matter what adversity you face, you put on the hat that you need to put on to get the job done. And if she's literally becoming emotionally irritated because her rule is that she never pumps gas.
Mm.
And I'm like, but what if I had the shits, right? And I got to run in and
I know
into
you
the
did not just
washroom.
say that.
And it's like, you're not going to pump the gas. You're going to wait for me to come out and do it. Like, so it's like those little things to me where things have been genderized that I don't believe have any business being genderized. So, like, I'll open up the door for you, like if you were going into a place or whatnot, but getting out of the car, coming all the way around to open up the door for you to then get out and then to close it. You have me running loops just to make you feel special. And I think that there are times where the acts of service that a person is desiring, for example, or maybe the gifts a person's desiring, where, like, if Anthony does like small gifts and everything, the little sweet ones that show a lot of time and attention, that's one thing. But like you said, with La, if he's buying big gifts and everything, diamonds and everything, it becomes a misalignment within the receiving gifts itself. So it's kind of like you can have a misalignment with the love language itself, but within that specific love language, you can also have a misalignment, right? So you're doing acts of service, but it's not the acts of service that that person finds to be the most meaningful. They want the superficial things that
Like what Shamar was saying, like holding the
basically,
target
basically,
Right.
versus
you
making
know,
the arrows.
I know, but sometimes I feel like in that we need to listen too, like kind of what Shalimar was saying. I know,
yeah,
baby, you making these arrows, but what I really need you to do is hold this bag because you kind of
right,
in the way. Don't get offended when I'm saying, baby, this is how I need you to support me. I know you want to support me in making these arrows, but baby, I
yeah,
need you to hold this bag. I need you to,
Right.
this is how this is going to support me.
right,
Now, what's saying that part, right? It's about how are we communicating that? Again, because I go back to the whole trash thing. If you come to me calmly and we talking and we're in a neutral setting and you say, "Hey, I love and I really appreciate that you was making those arrows for me. However, that's not really beneficial to me at the moment. That's not what I'm looking for. What I would like you to do is to hold the target. I'm not just in or sorry, take out the trash. Right? That's the analogy, right?
right.
But
I'm a-
if you're coming in with aggression,
right.
how is that message
Snapping,
being received?
right. Tones
Okay,
all
wait.
off.
Let me just say, because that is
Hmm.
one of the topics, so let me just go ahead and
Okay.
ask that question since we're
My
already
bad.
in it.
My bad.
Okay.
But the
Cool.
top, the question for that one
This is
is
good,
how to
y'all. Anyway.
communicate love in ways that actually land. So I
Ooh.
guess like that's kind of where we're going. So continue, Shelmer. I just wanted to
But that's
continue along the.
sorry.
Go
We kind
ahead.
of jumped the gun there. But yeah, that's just the thing, right? And that's why I feel like communication is super key, super, super key, right? Because it doesn't matter what your love language is. And if you guys have the same love language, but if it's received differently, right? So you got to make sure that you're delivering your message and it's being received, right? So you feel like you're delivering this message to this person. However, you're coming off aggressive or whatever the case might be, and this person is like, "Oh, now I'm in defense mode. I'm not even really receiving your message. I'm
Right.
just like, all right, I just want to get this person off my back because
Defense
they're
mode triggered.
barking, they're upset, they're
Right.
angry, or whatever the case is, right? So deliver the message and make sure that it's received, right? So even if you feel like I delivered this message accurately to this person, I feel like as the person receiving the message, I wouldn't even be upset if you was like, "Hey, so I just want to double check, like you understand what I'm saying, right? Like I'm asking you to not make the arrows, right? Which is appreciated. I'm not saying I didn't appreciate you making the arrows, but in the future, I'd like it if you just held the target instead, right? Or we're behind the target, retrieving the arrows. That would help me more than you making the arrows."
Yeah. And that's going to take us also getting over our pride. Because when I think about that, it's like, I'm not your child. And it's like a thing that kind of rises up into me. And this is me being brutally honest, right? Me assessing my emotions, in my past relationship where I was like, what? And just had that response because it didn't resonate with me. And sometimes we have to put on a big boy pants, big lady pants, whatever it may be, and then get over it. But understanding to do it with a balance, right? Because a person can quickly micromanage you into trying to create you into the perfect partner that they desire without reciprocating it. And next thing you know, you've become somebody's lapdog. Um, but being
Facts.
able to do that, you know, and have that conversation, but at the same time, recognize your emotions, try to find a compromise without overruling your emotions. And this is like the complexity that, you know, forces you to grow, to understand yourself and your partner, your boundaries, their boundaries, and to understand which parts of your emotions are just maladaptive responses to childhood trauma that you may have had. Um, it's a complicated thing, and maybe, you know, a case for counseling,
And it always
relationship
comes back to
counseling.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Well, I was gonna say just add in because I feel like hearing it from, I guess, like a man's perspective is pretty interesting because there's also the fact that like they have to be willing to communicate the fact that it's like, okay, the way you're telling me this, I'm not understanding or I'm not receiving it the right way. And I feel like that's something that Anthony does struggle with, and he is getting better with at being like, okay, don't talk to me in that type of way, and blah blah. And I need to learn to be like, okay, because even when you're like the trash situation, I've like had to learn, and Law would tell me like, girl, you don't want to nag him to the point where he like you his mama. And I would
Right.
tell him like, I don't want to be your mother, but I also don't want to see you playing a game and there's a the trash is overflowing. Like we're not about to get like the Simpsons and start stapling it on the side of the trash can. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you know, and it might be that whole gender thing where it's like, oh, I don't want to take out the trash, blah blah blah. But I do a lot of other things in the house, and I'm like, if that's what you need to do, and I guess you know, coming at it a different way and being like, okay, it brings me more peace because it does make my skin literally like I'm like, okay, then I'll do it myself. And then once I start getting like that, then that's when people are like, well, how do like how y'all were saying, well, how do you even help somebody that don't want you to do it? But then it's like again, like it goes back to that soft girl era because if I feel like I'm not just gonna be a soft girl for anybody, you have to earn that. I have to,
Right.
and maybe it's my trauma, but it's also if you're not communicating with me like, hey, I need you to talk to me this type of way so we can build on that and learn from that so we can get me to that soft girl era. But I'm still at that point where I'm like, why am I nagging at you when I've already told you 15, 11 times that I don't want to see this? But now, after hearing where y'all come from, I'm like, okay, I don't got to say it like that. I could be like, hey, I would really appreciate it. And it makes me really happy when you do that. Because even today, he made the bed and I texted him real quick. I said, baby, you made the bed? Like, oh my God. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so he
Right.
was like, yeah, and
No
I'm taking
proud
you
of him.
out to dinner.
You
You
see,
know?
but
No
it
proud of
hits
him.
different. I'm not defensive, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I did this, right? I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm just saying. See how you got a different response, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because his
But
his
that's,
hackles aren't raised. He's not feeling. I'm speaking from personal experience. Sorry, but your hackles aren't raised. You don't feel like you got to defend yourself and defend your honor and be like, whatever. It's like,
yeah.
hey, thank you. I did something, just to try to show you that I care and I appreciate you. And you reciprocated. Like, this is what I'm talking about. I appreciate that. I love that. That's how I get you into that soft girl era, right? But if instead I'm getting rah, 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 I'm like, I'm defensive. I'm in, what am I doing
Right.
wrong? How do I fix
But
it?
you
Let me
know
just
what?
fix it immediately. I'm not getting to the core root of the problem.
Mm.
And I'm working on that myself because my whole life is like rah 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 rah. Like
Yeah.
everybody's mama, running stuff at work. Like I'm always that. Did you do this? Where is this? Is this we done this on time? Is we gonna get this in on time? Did this come in? Da-da-da? And then when I'm talking to someone that I'm dealing with or in a relationship with, I have to realize that I'm not talking to somebody at work or
Right.
somebody or my kids in the house. You know what I mean? Like I do have to
Yeah.
change how I respond and how I come off sometimes, and I have to like calm down like okay, or like I don't like to be questioned. Right? That's one
Right.
of my issues. And
Mm.
and I don't like to be questioned and somebody be like, "Well, where are you going?" But like, "Why?"
So
Like,
you
"Why?"
want a lap dog? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't want a lap dog. That's what I'm saying because I know that's not what I want, but I know that's what I put out. So I have to. I'm reeling that back in because like, well, where you going? Well, why you want to know that? What I'm just making sure you good. If you needed anything, like, and that's what I've been getting lately. Is like, babe, I'm not asking you to like be the man. Like you shouldn't go there. I'm asking like, hey, do you have enough gas in the car? Do you need anything? Like, and when at first I'm like, oh, okay. Like I had to simmer down. Like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Right.
Well,
You
just have
not
to
trying to
ask,
get
Catch
was it
that.
a
cozy?
triggering, right? Was there somebody in the
Yes.
past that,
Mm-hmm.
somebody demanding and that caused you to have that reaction now?
Yes. Yes.
But it's nice to
But
see that you catching that. You see what I'm
But I
saying?
am.
Therapy.
I am. I
Yeah.
am catching that. And that's like all of this, like the love language thing, like it's catching those things to realize that I can't talk to people like that. Like if I want this affirmations and these good things to come to me, I can't respond to people that way.
Right.
Because I want it to come back. So yeah, it is. It's kind of all, all wrapped up in a pretty bow, but it all comes into those five languages, them love
Yeah.
languages.
And it's hard because it come back. You be like, you could be in your soft girl era for
Yeah.
months.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, and then something to just trigger. And you're like, "Ah,"
Right.
and then it's like you gotta bring that back. So I agree. I feel like this conversation has really made me like, when I go on my date tonight, I'm finna be, you want me to pump the gas? No, just kidding.
I
You
gotta
want
get
me
out
to
of that
do
though because
my,
I don't like to pump the gas. I don't feel like I should be taking out trash. But that's something that my daddy. I had a good daddy, Ernest
Yeah.
Spencer. We're not talking about nobody else but Ernest Spencer. If anybody else hear this, Ernest Spencer was a good father to me,
let
and
him
he
Yes,
know.
taught
ma'am.
me those things that don't touch the trash can, don't pump the gas. You know what I mean? Now, when I'm single, I got to do what I
Right.
got to do. But when I'm in a
That Southern
relationship,
chivalry.
Right.
that's something that I don't feel like I should be doing. Good thing the person I'm talking to now don't feel like that either. So I
Right.
Right.
appreciate that, right? Like, but
Yeah.
you
In my
know,
head, I'm like, what are you scared of garbage? Like, that's what I'm thinking of my ex. It's like, it's just
I'm a
Terrified.
trash.
lady. I'm a
It's not,
lady.
Terrified.
Right. Petrified of it. That's what I
that's
got.
my
Okay.
neurodivergent,
Petrified of
It's just garbage. Like,
I'm gonna
Oh
have a
wow.
trash dream tonight.
but
Oh
yeah,
no.
I'm like,
Oh my god. But did anybody want to add more onto how the communication is, like, how to make it land easier? I feel like we did really good.
it's
Even I'm over here like, I need to reevaluate my life.
what I found, and this comes from my, professional experience as a corporate trainer. When training people, everybody's kind of like a keyhole where you're trying to unlock some information in them, some wisdom to get them to understand or comprehend what you're trying to teach. And basically, as you're teaching, you're just dealing with a massive key ring of like hundreds of keys, and you just have to keep trying different keys to try to unlock that understanding. And it's the same thing with communication. You may talk to them the way that you talk to a sibling or a cousin, and that doesn't work. And it's like, oh crap, well, that person had a bad reaction. You keep trying different keys,
Uh-huh.
and then all of a sudden, with enough experimentation, communication, and time, having conversations where you find the kind of like the code of how your partner likes to be spoken to. Um, and essentially with that, I mean, it'll probably change in 2 years, but because we constantly change. I think one of my clients, when I do some software training or computer training, helping them set up their computers because they're older. I always ask older couples like,
Not
what is
too
the secret
much.
for a long lasting
Not too much.
relationship? And one of the things that they said was essentially every 2 years, they're pretty much getting remarried, right?
Mm.
They have to relearn their partner as their partner changes in life because we
Uh-huh.
know that we change over time. Why wouldn't our partner change over time? So it's kind of like you're constantly relearning your partner. They're constantly, um, uh, you know, flowering, I guess you can say, and expanding as their consciousness grows. And sometimes, we revisit these conversations to understand if anything's changed and pay special attention to see if anything's changed. So I just think that's an important understanding to have in the background of our minds when it comes to how we go into communication with each other. Never,
Patient.
hmm and never assuming that what the other person is going on in their head. Just to constantly ask questions, not like overly, but just to say, how you feeling? You know, something as basic as that.
Mm. Well, with that being said, I feel like that was perfectly a way to close that question up. I'm like, I feel like it's great to have like men and women perspective just because I was like, I feel like if it was me a lot, we'd be like, here, go off, girl. Yeah. Like, and with y'all are like, well, I don't know, I don't want to be yelled at. And I'm like, well, you're going to be yelled at. You know what I'm saying? Like, and with a smile on your face, because you better not make no other face.
Yes,
Then I start to be like,
yes,
dang, I really
dear.
do sound like so. Literally. And I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want, yes, ma'am. Like, then it's given Respucia Norbit. And it's like, nobody wants that. We don't want
go down the slide. No, just playing.
Right, literally, we don't want. It's like nobody wants that Respucia Norbit like
Relationship.
life, marriage at all.
Right.
So
That's a
hearing
good
from
movie.
the men, right? Hearing from the men perspective, I'm like, dang, hold on, like let me be a little more nicer, because then it's gonna be easier to get to that soft girl era. So I really like that we get in men perspective on top of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do have the last question. Just because we already talked about like the 5 love languages. And lastly, it's just love languages and friendships, family, and like self-care. So just pretty much what would you say the different, I guess, relationships, like do you feel they show up differently outside of romance? For instance, like your friendships or family, do you have different requirements for your love language when it comes to that?
Um, I could go first, and then that way everybody else could talk last.
That's kind of how that
'Cause,
works. Sorry.
yeah, I feel like it's appropriate. It's like, let me get myself out of the way and I think actually I try to take what the lessons I learned from one relationship and apply it to other ones. Because at the end of the day, it's like, when it comes to, let's say, your romantic partner, yeah, there's the physical intimacy and everything, but you're still just two brains connecting, right? Communication applies, which means you have to learn the skills of active listening. And active listening is extremely important in being able to gain an understanding of what your partner is actually trying to communicate to you and what they're actually feeling, and not what your own personal traumas may be coloring what they're saying, right? Because as soon as like you get triggered or whatnot, it can color everything that your partner is saying or a person is saying, a friend, whatever it may be, to the point where you're not hearing them. You're hearing some weird version of them that, your fears are coloring of what they're saying and what they're doing. So, you try to recognize essentially what every single person that you consider to be special enough to be close to you in your life, what their needs are, and then you try to adjust in that relationship within reason, and to communicate the difference. So,
Well,
oh,
dang. Who want to follow that up? Okay, well, I guess I will. Um,
let's go, yes, let's go, yes.
yes.
Not big
Right,
girl.
right. It was like, we might as well just end right there. No, just kidding. No, for me, I would say, like, I agree with what you were saying. I feel like when it comes to our family in particular,
Yeah.
I feel like my love language is different, definitely depending on the groups of people in my family. Like y'all, I'm definitely like, I'll hit at all 5. I'm like, you need a hug, you need some money, you need me to beat somebody up. I don't know if that's one of the acts of, but hey, physical,
Hey, physical,
we get
physical.
active, but any of the things, I'm
Let's
like,
get
I ride for
physical,
y'all, but
physical.
right,
One
but
text
other people in
message,
the
we on
family,
our way.
okay, other people in the
Mafia
family,
mode.
they could tell me the saddest sob story, and I'll be sitting there like, dang, that sucked. And I'll be like, maybe you should pray on it. I'll put you in my prayers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I would say there's definitely different levels, and I would hope and I wish it was like that for the entire family. But we know how it be. And I would just say, like, for me, especially when it comes to the physical touch, that is like the number one in this family that I feel like is hard for me. Like I could be like, okay, yeah, I can loan you some money before I want to hug you. And that's so sad to say. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, But just for me, and that's something I am working on, and I would say like that's the only difference is like when it comes to family, and which is sad because when it comes to my friends, I feel like again I can hit all 5 of those and I would get that reciprocated and like all of those. But then in our family, it's like if I give you an act of service and then I'm like within the hour, I'm like, hey, yo, can you come help me do? Oh, look, I can't because
Right.
and it's like, well, dang,
Some people are
you,
just takers.
you know.
Right.
So then it starts to be like, well, I ain't giving out no more love languages to nobody.
Right.
Forget a soft girl era. Okay. So that's just what I was gonna say. Who would like to follow that up?
I feel that, right? Every family is a little different, right? There's different families dynamics for every family, right? And our family is close but apart. And I say that because we all over this state, this country, right?
Right.
We everywhere.
Country, yes.
However,
Right.
when we come together, it's always like, come here, girl, I missed you, I ain't seen you forever. And everybody don't know what we've individually been through and how we might just be touched out physically. Like, hey, it's nice to see you, cousin, but we side hugging. Or it's like,
Okay.
hey, you
Right.
got, it's a quickie. It's not one of those lingering like, I gotta miss you.
Right.
Right.
Come here,
Not a
come here,
full
girl.
body
Bear
hug.
hug.
That's
Yeah,
enough.
right. Yeah, exactly, right. So, but our family is more of a physical presence kind of family. Like we that's just right. Because if we sit down and we think about it, right, a lot of the times whenever we see each other, it's like, oh, let me get a hug. Oh, I missed you. Hi, byes, always hugs, right?
Yeah.
But it comes down to respecting each other's boundaries, right? Because
Right.
not everybody's like that. And I try to do my best to be like, okay, I know that Yazzy isn't really big on physical, right? So I'm gonna show you that I'm trying to show you love. I'm gonna give you a quick hug. It's not gonna be a lingering hug, but I missed you. I love you. I'm so glad that you're here, right? That's respecting your boundary of like, hey, you're willing to be vulnerable enough to give me that 1 second hug to show you that I'm trying to deliver love to you, right? And you're trying to reciprocate that by showing me like, hey, it's just a hug. I know that that's how you show and or receive love. So here, love on love, right?
Right.
And I appreciate you respecting my boundary that it's not a 30-second hug. It's not an hour-long hug. It's a quick hug, squeeze, little, I missed you, little sister. How you doing? I love you. I care for you. And then bam, right? I respect your space. I'm sitting back down in my seat. Whatever you sit in your seat, whatever it might be,
Right.
right? So it is a little different, right? Depending on whatever the dynamic is, right? Because I understand that. I'm more of a physical person with my family. I love my family, right? I won't lie and say that there's some family members like I don't want to hug from you. I don't want to.
You like air five.
Yeah, air five. Yeah, right. But with my friends,
Knuckles.
some of my friends is different, right? I'm not very physical because I feel like at that point I'm being vulnerable. That's how I'm showing like my love, right? Receiving and
Right.
showing love, right? So for my friends, it's more of like acts of service, right? It's like, hey, I'll do some stuff for you, or like I'll buy you some gifts just so you know, like, hey, we still boys, you know what I'm saying? I feel you, like we cool. I'll talk
Right.
with you. We'll spend some quality time. Oh, you want a hug? Oh,
You like go get your girl.
you know what? Hey, yeah, I'll dab you up. What up, bro?
Maybe that's like a guy thing though.
No, but
Maybe.
I'm more comfortable. I'm more comfortable actually hugging dudes than I am
Oh.
women, and this
And
is only
okay.
because of the nips to nip situation. With women, it's, I'm gonna do side hug all the day, but dudes like
let me ask you a question. How tall are you again? Say it for the
6'3".
recorded line.
6 feet.
6'3". So you saying your nip
Yeah.
gonna hit me in the eyeball, right? Because I'm not 6'3". Okay,
No,
so I can
I'll
understand the
stoop
nip to nip
down.
situation. That's all I'm saying.
I'll
Gonna be
stoop
vulnerable.
down, and then
That's what I'm
I'll
saying.
get on one
'Cause
knee.
I'm not 6'3", so I don't have to worry so much about the nip to nip thing.
the nip
But
to shoulders, like no, man.
but I'm just saying, I get it from your standpoint, right?
Right.
But I know that it's different. We show our love and things like that different for different communities, right?
Right.
Because we're going through different things with different communities, just like our groups of friends, right? There's some groups of friends that we know they just don't mesh, and it's the same with our love languages, right? I show a different kind of love language to my partner than I would to my family, right? But at the end of the day, I'm still trying to show love in my own way.
Right.
And you're receiving love in your own way, because we're all different. Just like we started this episode, we all talked about how we receive love differently, our favorite love language and our least favorite love language. Were they all the same? No.
No.
Right.
Right? So every
Adaptation.
situation and every person, every group of friends is different, right? And so I think that's what it really comes down to, is understanding your dynamic in that particular group and respecting one another, right? And it's just huge. It's so big and it's so important.
Right.
Communicating and respecting. Because even if you communicate something, somebody could still be disrespectful about it and be like, I don't care what you're communicating. This is how
Tiger
I show
uppercut.
love. So this is how you're going
Right,
to take
yeah.
it. It's like,
And
hold
that's how
up.
people in the family be.
and you better not say nothing.
And you better not, you better not say
Yep.
nothing. Because this is how I
Exactly.
show love. So this is how you're going to take love. It's like, hold up, player.
Exactly.
Wait a minute.
So, ew.
Something ain't right.
Call the cops. All right.
So it comes down to communication and respect. And like Khaled said, right? Taking a step back from your pride, right? Because
your pride will fuck you
I'm
up
like, oh,
real
my bad,
Or
right?
screw you
Like,
up, sorry.
I'm so sorry that you felt disrespected, right? Because at the end of the day, when you're taking a step back from your pride, you're like, oh, I didn't mean to offend you, right? I'm just trying to show you love. I'm genuinely just trying to show you love. But if that's not how
Right.
you receive love, and that's not how you want to receive love from me, please communicate that to me so we can work on it. Because I don't want this bridge to be burned. I'm trying to fix this bridge. You repair this bridge, get a strong foundation. So communicate that to me. How can we make this work? If that's what
Right.
you want, you know what I mean?
Well, it's better
But
to do
again,
what they want, because if they don't want to work it out, they can bounce, right?
Right. But it comes down to communication, right? If you already mentally checked out, if you didn't already mentally checked out, then let me know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Yeah.
Hey, I appreciate you
Alright.
for being mature enough to let me know that. We good.
We got awesome.
Not the
Well
mental
said.
check out.
Hey. You can be mentally
Alright.
checked out and still stay and
Right.
hurt yourself and
Yep.
everybody around you and not even be there to even recognize what you're doing. I've done it. So I get it.
I've done it.
Bear down, baby.
Being a
God.
ghost.
They can't see your
I think it's me.
But-
I'm next.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry,
My
go
turn.
ahead.
La. Say
how,
what you tell.
say how I love. I feel like I'm weird, right? So, and I'm evolving in this, and I'm gonna probably ask you guys at the end how you've kind of evolved in some of your stuff. But my thing is, in my family, I think everybody gravitates to me. Like, oh, let me hug La. I'm tired. I'm scared. I'm happy. I'm sad. Let me just hug her. She's just teddy bear, not too much. But
Sorry.
but, I try and I value that. Like I'm happy that I give off that energy and that love. And even
Radiance.
babies can see it. I have babies in the stores just looking at me like, what is that? Like, who is she? And I've held babies in restaurants. One man just brought his baby to me. The baby was hollering, and the mama went to the bathroom, and he just was holding it. I was like, do you want me to? I took the baby, and the baby instantly stopped crying. He said, she don't never do that. So I believe that God gave me that, right? But it can be overwhelming. I also know that I've learned how to pick and choose where I use that. And also I realized that in my life with relationships, I'm not that loving. And
Same.
they can see me like with my family, and I'm hugging and I'm holding their hands. And even with my tribe family, we're very loving. We saw each other on Sunday. It took us 30 minutes to say bye, because we hugging each other and kissing each other on the cheek and holding each other's hand and talking and holding each other. But in my relationships, I was like, why are you touching me to talk to me? Why are you like, and I would always get that. You're not a man, La. You're not the man. Like, yeah. And I'm like, what is you? I never showed that love, the physical touch and the hugging. And I never showed that in my relationships until I was like, man, I got to give my age now. 30 something, none of your business. But
Thank you.
but I didn't start picking that up And it's for a while. And like that's how I know I'm evolving. Cause like now I'm like, hey, why aren't you holding my hand? Why isn't your hand in the middle of my back? Why isn't your hand
Right.
on my thigh? You know what I mean? Why aren't you moving my hair when it's in like I want
I'm
that
like, you getting lower and lower.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, let's go
right?
back to
So
the
I'm
hair
like,
now.
all
Yes,
right,
thank
slow
you.
down
I
now.
went to my hair. I went back to my
Family.
head.
I know. That's why I said, okay, go back up now.
But you know what I mean? Like, so I realized that as I'm getting older, my values of what I value in those love languages have changed, right? Have
Right.
altered because, like I said, when I was younger, please don't touch me. We can be intimate, but at the intimate time, all that other stuff is extra.
You pull out the
And
taser. Get back. Get
I
back.
feel bad for the men that I was dealing with back in the day because I was big Lala. Like, no.
She said, "Big
You
Lala,
posting up?
hold it, big homie, coming in for a hug. She about to knuckle up. What you doing? Where your hands going, player?"
Oh no.
So now I'm glad that like you can evolve in your love languages. They don't have to be the same. You can want more than less and less than more. Like it changes. And like you said, communication is going to be important with that because like you said, getting married every 2 years. I'm sure, and people been married for 5 or 10 years. You know, it changes. And if your
Right.
person is used to you wanting words of affirmation, and then you come in 2 years later, like, why you say that? And I'm like, wait a
Right.
minute. Like, you
What
need to
happened?
communicate with me, baby, if that's not what you want anymore. That's not how you feel anymore. Or this doesn't do it for you anymore. So I'm learning that and being vulnerable enough to communicate those things. It's very hard when you used to being a boss
Right.
and running things. It's very hard for me to step out of myself and say, okay, like I need you. I need you to touch me. You know what I
Mm.
mean? I need you to tell me I'm beautiful. Like you be honest. If that's what you
Right.
need, tell your partner. I used to be like, I don't need nothing. I don't need none of that.
Right.
Like,
pride.
Clock it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry
I
to
have
interrupt you, but be
learned.
honest. Clock it.
I have learned what I need and
Yeah.
not to be like, well, if I'm not this proud black woman,
Right.
then I can't tell him that I need him to hold my hand. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I'm a black woman in America. You know, but I
Right.
had that on my shoulders.
I know,
That
but
made me feel like I had to be strong all the time.
at the same time, it's defensive. You know, because if
Mhm.
somebody knows that you have wants, a lot of times they try to use it to negotiate and to hold it above you, or withhold it depending upon your history with individuals. So a lot of times I think it may have also been affected by how we grew up or any other experiences that we have to make us feel like we can't be vulnerable with people.
Right.
You
Right.
know?
Or soft or vulnerable. Yeah. I mean, I know
Yeah.
sometimes in certain places they make fun of you for stuff like that.
Right.
You
Then
weak.
you got to be somebody's
Yeah,
ass, and
yeah,
it,
yeah.
Right.
get bailed out.
Exactly. Then we
It's a
gotta
horrible
go back to the
experience.
knuckle up. Let me
Right.
hold on 1 second. Let me call my cousins on text message real quick.
Okay, what I
Oh, we
See,
say,
pull up
I'll
with
be
the
on
razor
by.
blades and Vaseline. Don't play with me.
Okay, Vaseline up all on the
Okay.
face.
Sneakers and Vaseline. You can get it
Cause
too.
I cut you. I cut you.
Not I cut you. Oh no,
Come in with
YouTube
the
is
mouth,
about to be like,
the mouth guard,
the
all that.
mouth guard his face.
Hey, and we
Mhm.
coastal.
Listen.
He did what, girl,
Hands
in
wrapped
Chicago?
up.
Here come Khaled. Don't even worry about it.
Okay,
Yep.
don't even play.
I paraglide down.
6'3". Let me
See,
call
that's
6'3".
right. That's right.
Come in like, where they at?
No. Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
goodness.
But what was the question you wanted to add on, Law?
It was
Before
just kind of how I ended mine was like, how did you evolve? How are you evolving from like where you were to now, right? Like what was more important to you then and it's less important to you now? Just want to see where
Okay.
you guys are at because we're all at different ages in our lives. We're all some are married, some are single, some we're going through our things. I'm in between relationship. Like what? Let me know.
I would say my biggest evolve is learning to hear words of affirmations from others. I do really well at like doing it myself. I'm like, yeah, girl, you look good, da 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 da, whatever. But again, like you said, like if I'm hearing it from you, I'm like, all right, then yeah, I can go step out in public. Like La said, I look good. But I feel like just like with anybody in a relationship, I feel like when Anthony says it, I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever.
Right. You
But
be
now
saying
I'm
that because you
learning.
gotta say it.
Right. But now I'm learning, like, oh,
Jerry.
he might actually think I'm beautiful with no makeup on, with my sweats on, and I'm, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Or I got a
Sweatpants, head
boo-boo
tied,
on.
chilling with no makeup on. That's when you're the
Literally.
prettiest.
I hope that you
Mhm.
don't take it wrong. No,
Hey,
Yep. Know what
seriously.
I'm
we're
saying?
not finishing it.
Look at her. Look. But yeah, no, and I feel like that's something I'm learning to just take, and then just the acts of services, allowing him to put more on his plate and not it seem like I have to be in control of everything,
Oh,
because
girl.
I'm very much like, I go
Amen.
crazy. I'm like, and then like he'll be like, well, just because I'm not doing it your way doesn't mean it's still not getting done. And I'm like, well, you're right. And I'm learning to be like, I'm gonna go crazy if I have to keep going behind him. And it's like,
Hey,
well, he
what's
didn't get
Ant-Man's
done.
Cash App? Let me send that man some money.
Oh,
Let me
damn
send
it,
A
that
you
man
have to
some
let me
money.
know.
tambourine.
Let me send that man some money.
Yeah,
He said, just
tambourine.
because it's not getting done the way you want it done, don't mean it's not getting done. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Amen.
I
that's
really,
true.
woo, that resonated
Yeah,
with
that
me.
was
I'm sorry.
good because that is me all the
Yeah,
way. I told you to
yeah.
go left and you went right, but you still picked up the paper, but you didn't do it.
Right. It's like,
I
if
said
you want to
so.
go ahead and make 3 rights, then you do you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, who am I to make it, and I'm very much like, well, you could have just did this and you would have been done like 15
Well,
minutes
you
ago.
could have go right.
Literally. And that's when I'd be like, let me just do it because I could just get it done. And then I'll be going crazy because then I'm like, well, why are you just sitting there? And he's like, well, I tried to do it and you didn't let me. So it's like,
Nancy, you don't have to
you
talk about
can't.
me like this. You don't talk about me. You don't come on this podcast and tell all my business. You don't talk about me like that.
That's
Okay,
our
I'm
family
sorry. I
trait,
tell
though.
you.
Y'all know that goes through
Hey.
the generations, though, right?
Oh, God.
Because
See, and that's
y'all
what
ain't
I'm
see that
saying.
same thing in my auntie, your grand.
Yeah. And that's why I'm saying I'm evolving. I love it. I'm here for it. I'm like, let me go ahead and soak my feet while he's like, let me do this real quick for you. And I got your water running so you could just soak your feet. I'm like, well, this is nice. I mean, you could have been sitting here with me 15 minutes ago, but this is nice. But I'm
Yeah,
gonna keep that to myself,
Right, right.
Thank you. That's
right.
all I'm gonna say. Thank you.
Yes. So that would be for me the biggest evolvement, I would say.
Well, I'm gonna let you finish, Cal, if that's cool. I just want to piggyback off of this because this one
Cool.
really, really resonated with me. I'm sorry,
Let's go.
but I feel that. And the reason why, and I appreciate you even just showing him that, like, I'm going to keep this to myself because you're right. Like he said, this is what you want. It got done. It just didn't get done the way you wanted it. And maybe not as fast as you wanted it to get done.
Yeah.
And maybe not again, because you're like, I could have got this done 15 minutes ago. Yes, but you wanted me to do it. I'm doing it my way. Right? It's still getting done. It's just not getting done the way you want it to get done. And guess what? When the job is done, there's a way to communicate that to me to say, hey, baby, thank you so much. I appreciate the fact that you took 3 rights. However, I just want to point out to you that it's in the future, it could be a little faster if you take a left and then a right instead of 3 rights. But I'm so thankful that you actually still got it done. Thank you so much. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's
Appreciate it.
for me personally, I'm just gonna speak on personal experience, right? It's challenging when I'm like, all right, I want her to just chill. I want you to be in your soft girl era, right? I'm gonna run your water, get your foot massage running, boom, boom, boom. And while you chilling, I'm trying to knock out all this other small stuff. And so for me, I'm like, I'm showing you love. You chilling, you relaxing. You in your soft girl era, I'm over here manning out, knocking out the trash, pumping your gas. I'm doing all this, right? But in your mind, you sitting here like, where my man's at? We supposed to be chilling together. You supposed to be, and you're getting your feet soaked too. And it's like, okay, well, I don't understand, right? You want me to put you in the soft girl era and get your stuff done, but how can I be in 2 places at one time,
Right.
right? So that's a level of involvement for both people. Where it's like, hey, I want to get this done for you, right? I want to take care of this stuff and get all these things off your plate while you're relaxing. I want you
Right.
to see that it's getting done, or even if you can't physically see that it's getting done, these things are getting knocked off of this list of whatever the chores might be in the house or whatever yard work might need to be done, whatever, right? This stuff is getting done. And for me personally, it feels so good to see you relaxing
Right.
while I'm knocking this stuff out. Bam, 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 bam. So that
Yeah.
when you finally like, oh, let's say you're taking a hot shower, you get out, you take your towel off, you take your robe off, or you got your robe on, and you step out, and you're like, damn.
Yep.
What is this? The dishes
That's
done,
when
the
you get a
trash.
whole
Yeah.
house.
Just
Jenny
right,
done cleaned
right.
the whole
Yeah.
house.
Cause now I'm
Yeah,
like,
gang.
you
This
didn't
is noise.
right.
Yeah.
You're like, oh wow, like I went in there to try to take some time for me to relax because I know I had to gum my hair and do all this and that. It's already done. And it's like, oh yeah, baby, you know I got you. Yeah, I got you. So it's
Don't
like,
you
okay,
worry about a
right?
thing.
But
Yeah.
it comes to that again. It's that evolving, right? It's like, hey, I'm gonna take care of this while you go and just relax. I don't want you stressing about that. I want you in the shower, steam going, music playing, you in your zone. Now let me go into my zone, right? I'm about to go and knock all this stuff out. It might not get done the way you would do it, but is it done? Is it off your list?
Yeah. And it always helps if you
Yeah,
like
you're
roll
not
up
gonna
something
come on
for
this
him and then just let him
podcast
toot
and
that,
talk
you
about
know.
me like that.
Ain't nobody
You're not
talking
just
about
gonna
you.
talk
I'm
about
the
me.
guest.
I'm sorry, everybody in here is coming at me, and I'm not
I
gonna have
started it saying
I'm not gonna have
personally.
it today.
I'm just saying.
Not
I
on my
started it by
birthday
saying
month. Not on my
personally.
birthday.
Okay. But that was just the thing. It's like we and I don't know, again, it's generational. We're all kind of different generations up in here. But it's like, that's I didn't have I ain't gonna go into my parentage, but there's something that
That was
was
last week episode.
I'm sorry, my bad.
No,
But the way that I was shown is that, hey, you're supposed to treat your lady like a queen, a princess, right? And so for me, that's how I see it. I'm like, hey, I want her in there, getting her nice shower, relaxing. And while she doing that, I'm gonna try to knock out this stuff. I'm gonna try to do all this stuff so she could just relax. Right? But instead of that being what's happening, I feel like we're in this, and I don't know, maybe it's just my generation, but it's like I wanted somebody who knew the struggle and when stuff got rough, hey, look, baby, I ain't got no car, but I'm trying to show you a good time. We about to ride the bus. She hop on the bus. She like, hey, I don't care how we get there. I'm riding with you. Or like Callie said earlier, hey, I got the shits today. Normally 99% of the time, I pump the gas. I got the shits. We got to go. Do you mind hitting the gas? And she like, hey, I got you. Right? Because it's that one out of 100 that I got to pump the gas. But 99% of the time, you pump the gas, I'm not tripping.
Right. Reciprocity is extremely important, to the situation. And sometimes that means, holding it down when your partner's not able to. So
when they got the shits.
yeah.
Oh,
the bubble guts. All right.
Okay.
Should I go last?
Yeah, you good. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Cook.
Yeah.
Cook.
All right, go ahead, Khaled.
Okay, cool. All right. I say probably the biggest thing to learn is to be uncomfortable. Or the biggest thing that I've learned, most important thing, is because discomfort is literally the window towards growth. And if you're in a relationship and you're comfortable all the time, nothing's challenging you. Nothing's forcing you to adapt, to grow. So when you're dealing with a partner who says, I like it when my partners pump my gas, and an immediate reaction is the visuals from when you were a kid, and you just imagine this very prissy girl in this, what do you call it? The pumpkin that Cinderella had, the cart thing. And
Yeah,
you're like,
the
it's like
chariot?
out of Disney princess. It's like Cinderella after
The
she
carriage is that what it is?
a carriage, right? A carriage. So in your head, what's popping up into your head is like this whole entire carriage, bougie, Godsford Park. What's the name of the show on Netflix? The Shonda Rhimes show. Well, overall, just bougie and prissy. I'm used to like Mulan, right? Just grunge, dirty. That's like the warrior princess type of stuff. They're not concerned or scared
So
about
a man.
that.
No,
Right.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
So
Say it again.
Here we go. Let the man cook
Why
because
did
I'm
you slip
hearing
that
it.
in? You know the audio's
I'm
happening.
hearing it.
Why would you just do that? All right. but I would say I'm not scared of my partner being masculine, like, or having
Yep.
masculine features
Yep.
or whatnot in terms of like just a personality. Because I think that finding a balance between the two is really our ultimate form as people, right? So, we are people who have survived hundreds of thousands of years, not for this new thing where it's this soft feminine thing that I think has been mostly a depiction of media. But like literally, we've had to fight off animals. Like when you look at the animal kingdom and you think about, let's say, if the lion is the king, and then you look at the queens, they go getters. Those lionesses aren't. They are go
Yeah,
getters.
but
I,
well, I have a question though.
Like
okay,
there's a
cool,
time
cool.
and a place for that though. I'm not gonna be like that all the
Yeah,
time because when
I
I'm like
know, I
that, then
know.
now I'm called a man or now I'm trying to lead the
exactly. That's what I was
relationship.
about to say.
Okay, cool,
Like,
cool. And that's fair. That's fair. There's a
'cause
balance,
I can
right?
be that,
Because yeah, there's
but don't
But
try
times
to
I
then
shoot
want to
me
now
be
down when I'm hunting.
I'm the man.
Right.
right.
Don't try to
Because
shoot
now
me
you're
down when I'm
used to me
hunting,
doing that.
okay?
No, no,
Leave
no.
me
Right.
be. Go
It's
pick that
about
up
me.
like I asked. No, I'm just playing.
Oh, stop.
Yes, dear. Like, okay.
No,
Sorry. No. You
no,
missed me
not
with that.
6'3". Not
So
6'3".
so if you take like 100% of the task and you divide it 50-50, right? And that's both individuals pulling the weight to make sure that we have full coverage, right? Because that's me as a person. When I get involved, I'm looking for full coverage. If I'm out, she can hold it down herself. So that's what I'm saying about that point. So for me, I was interpreting that whole entire situation as an individual who was showing that they wouldn't hold it down by themselves. So I was uncomfortable with that. And I had to come out of my
Okay.
zone of the way I saw the world and go into her zone of, what she was dealing with. And it was uncomfortable because, thinking I'm putting my head in a space where it's like, oh, I want him to pump the gas because he's the man and I'm a woman, right? To me, that's not a headspace that I occupy. Those um, gender roles in that specific way. But a lot of women do, right? Or a lot of men do for that matter.
But that's
And
media.
sometimes that
That's
requires
media.
adaptation, to your partner and the way they see the world, not full conformity, but adaptation. So being discomfort or having to deal with discomfort is a part of the territory. And when you have patience in pushing past your comfort levels, you'll often grow in r- your ability to recognize other people's needs and to actually, take care of them with balance.
Do you think so? Like for you, is it more like you see things as tasks, not really like gender?
Right,
Like
because like
it's
if like something happens to me, right? Because this is ultimately how I think about, especially choosing a partner. A lot of people choose a partner because they give them the certain level of feelings. For me, it's about co-parenting. If you want to have kids, you get a co-parent, right? So
uh,
you need a person who's going to put the same level of detail into psychologically analyzing the kids to make sure they're not missing anything. If a person is just in la la land psychologically because maybe they're, obsessed about things that are superficial in level or whatnot, that could be, I guess you could say, a divide between you and that individual. And for me, I kind of saw it that way, where it was like, why does she care about this thing so much? Why does it mean to her so much? It's pumping gas. She knows how to do it. It's a task that needs to be done. Why is it being genderized or whatever it is? So I couldn't understand it. I still don't understand it fully. But
But
I realized I could have been a lot more patient than
right,
I
because it's
was
not
at
like
the
she can't
time.
pump gas.
right.
She just
It's
prefer
just
her man to pump the gas for her. And then that's a part of how she feels needs to be loved. Like she
Yeah.
thinks that's loving. Just like he said, taking out the trash. You don't like it, but it's something that I like for you to do. I like to see him get up and go in the store and get me something. Like I mean, why couldn't it be? I mean, and I said I know you're looking at it differently now, and we don't know
Yeah.
her whole background. We don't know her, so that could have just been the thing that the what did they say, the icing on the cake or whatever. You know what I mean? We don't know all of it.
I guess I got irritated because I took 2 steps forward and then it was like more because I was like paying for her nails and her hair to get done and stuff like that too. And I did that, I accepted myself doing that. I was like, I feel like if you're gonna have a girlfriend and you want her to be pretty or whatnot, pay for her hair, pay for your
I
nails if you
want her to
can.
be pretty.
I mean,
Well, look good, feel
No,
good,
I know
right?
what
You
you
want her
mean.
to
I
feel
know
like
what
she
you
look
mean.
good, so she,
Yeah.
right.
yeah,
Her
okay,
Like
maintenance.
that's
I got you.
that's
like
self-care.
a kept
Hold on.
like a kept woman, right? And that was her
Yeah.
goals. Like I want to be divine feminine, but then I felt like I was getting into lapdog territory, and I was just kind of like, I literally just
But
sat
what
there
made it
taking
lapdog territory?
because like we literally just came from a park where I was like, I showed her I did my photography skills, so I basically took like 200 photos. And then now, we get to a gas station and now she wants me to pump her gas. And I'm like, you're doing too much. Like, it's
I'm
just.
screaming.
Oh, so for
I'm-
you,
I'm paying for your nails, your
that
hair,
was the tip of
taking
the
your photos,
iceberg.
and then
Come on
you gonna have me
Yeah,
holding your
but
purse too.
isn't-
No,
You're doing
no,
too much.
but you got to think about
Your
it from his
divine femininity is
perspective.
now encroaching on my
Okay, but from your
masculinity.
perspective, then wouldn't it be like if you were taking her to the park and showing her your skills? Wouldn't that be more for you then? Was
No,
it
no.
like she was like?
It was a photo shoot. I was shooting photographs of her.
No, I understand that, but isn't that your passion? Isn't that what you wanted to do?
No,
was
it's
show
just
her?
it's just a skill. So she was taking photos, and I'll be honest, her selfies kind of sucked. So I'm just like
Oh,
stepping
God.
in to say, like, let me do it. Like, let's get some angles and everything. But now I feel like, and maybe this is just the online thing where there's always these depictions of like these quote unquote simp or beta male boyfriends or whatnot,
Yeah.
just
Sure.
basically becoming the lapdog of their partner as just doing these tasks for them. I think that is where we were encroaching, where I began to feel like the role that I know I can fill and the role that she's having me fill based upon her needs is not what I would define as the man that I want to be.
Now, my
Right.
question
Your
on that
vision
is,
for
did
self
you
was changing
communicate
to-
that?
to
I'm now
kinda
a servant
develop
at that
what you
time.
want.
I mean, we
Right.
had an argument on it and then a breakup. So it's like,
So y'all had
Oh,
one
no.
argument, then y'all broke up.
no,
Yeah.
we broke up like several times. It's just
Ah,
never.
That
We'll get into
broke
it
up.
later.
I was like, that's
We'll get
Right,
into it
we're not
later.
getting
I
into
had a lot of growing to
relationship,
Right, 'cause
do.
we need to have a
He's
whole
like, we're not
episode.
talking about me.
I feel like the next we need to do this again because this was a good
Yeah.
topic that rolled into this topic. This has been amazing, guys.
Yeah.
Look,
Amazing.
Yeah.
look, not Khaled over here dropping some stuff on me. Got me over here like, ay, mi corazón. Ah.
Oh no.
He said, co-parenting. I said, shots fired.
No, seriously. Me
I'm
and
over
my
here like,
animals over
not
here.
y'all coming
No,
for me at the end of the podcast.
Oh gosh.
You want somebody
feel
who's
like
gonna
I was
hold it
shot
down
like
if you're
6
out,
times.
you know?
Literally.
Listen, Khaled said no
Wow.
chest shots, all head. I'm like, bro, chill.
I know. I was like, until he's like, you doing
No,
too
I don't know.
much.
I don't
I'm
know
like,
the full story, so you gotta break it down for me. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a whole
That's a whole
nother
that's a
nother.
episode.
whole thing.
Right.
But we ain't definitely
Right.
getting into that.
Yeah.
Right, because now we already about to have like an hour-long podcast. But with
No,
that
we're
being
hour and
said,
20 minutes. We do.
Yeah, we doing it.
right,
Yeah. But that's how you also know, one, you got some good content to edit, and two, like this was something that we all genuinely was feeling. It was a good, I feel like it was a good conversation. We got a
Right.
bunch of different point of views. We
It
all
really was.
felt something and learned something, I felt like.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? And so
I'm a changed woman.
I won't say all that as
I'm,
far as
I'm
me.
no longer.
I'm
I'm
just
no
saying.
longer a nagging mother. I'm a
Oh
changed
my
woman.
goodness. All I'm
And
saying
I-
is that
and I still want
we
my
got
gas
4
bill
different
still. I'm just-
perspectives from this.
Right.
And I feel like there's somebody in the audience who's going to listen to this and get one of these different point of views and be like, dang, I learned something. Like I felt
Yeah.
that resonated with me. Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, this to me sounds like it's going to be an amazing episode. And I'm
Yeah.
It is.
want to say
It
thank
is
you,
cool.
Yaz and Lala, for inviting me in. I appreciate y'all. I didn't
I
even
hear
go
you.
10%. Like, that's crazy.
Hey.
I felt it so much. I didn't even go 10%. I was like, oh.
Let's go.
Well, of course, you're always welcome. And it was
Okay.
lovely having you as well, Colin. I do want to end it with the challenge of the week, which is figure out your top love language and the top love language of someone close to you, whether it's like friend, family, partner. Then do one intentional act that speaks their language this week. that is where I'm ending it. With that,
Awesome,
thank you for
awesome.
watching episode 11
It's
of Talk
been a
Time with Yazzy.
pleasure.
We're out.
Gang gang.
Gang.